Hello and welcome back. I'm Niki Samnani and I'm here to bring you the best of the week from DXB Today. We kick things off on a very happy note with the CEO of Happyness himself. That's right. Faris had a chat with Chris Gardner to talk about his award-winning movie, The Pursuit of Happyness, its 20th anniversary, and how its lessons continue to inspire us today.
20 years ago, we watched a movie called The Pursuit of Happyness with Will Smith, based on a man called Chris Gardner. Well, today we have the privilege to be speaking to Chris Gardner himself, the CEO of Happyness, and get some insights on how he started from nothing and became a multi-millionaire. We're going to be getting his insights right here on DXB Today.
"20 years, Faris. Who knew? Who knew? I mean, you think about it, the film was released in December of 2006, December 14th. So we're right now beginning this global birthday party, this global celebration of this whole idea of pursuing happiness globally. And I couldn't think of a better place to start than right here in the UAE. So I'm honored to be here with you on Dubai One, so thank you. Life is not fair. Accept it and deal with it and prepare yourself to always create your own opportunities. Don't wait for opportunities, create your own opportunities. I'm often asked, what is worse, not getting the opportunity or not being prepared? My response will always be not being prepared, because the truth of the matter is we never know when, how, or where an opportunity will show up. But the level of preparation, we can control that. I came from a family and had a mother that told me that, son, you could do or be anything, and I believed it. And prior to my mother saying those words to me, she had to say them first to herself. She had to give herself permission to dream. Think about that. African American. My mother, before she was born, the only thing anyone in my family had ever done was pick cotton. First as slaves, then as sharecroppers. But she gave herself permission to dream and said, my child will never pick cotton. As a matter of fact, the last time she walked out of the cotton fields of Louisiana, she was pregnant with me. And she said, my child will never pick cotton. That's a big, bold dream. So I come from a family of 400 years of picking cotton to over 4 decades on Wall Street. And the next generation, my granddaughter has just accepted a full scholarship to a major Ivy League university.
MashaAllah.
Okay? That's called permission to dream. And don't get me started talking about my granddaughter, because we'll be here a long time.
Well, we wish we had all the time in the world, but I do want to know, I know that you had a moment, you've spoken about this before. Tell us about the red Ferrari and what that moment meant to you.
That car just represented options, but the most important thing about that car you're referring to were the 2 questions I asked the gentleman who was driving the car, which were, what do you do and how do you do that? And I challenge young people today. I asked them the new 2 questions. If you could walk through a door tomorrow morning and be doing anything in the world, what would it be? What would it look like? What would it smell like? What would it taste like? Engage all your senses, and then ask yourself the second question. What did I do today to make tomorrow happen?
Absolutely, because I love your attitude to the red Ferrari. You saw someone driving a car that you dreamed of, and a lot of people might have some resentment towards the person. Maybe it was daddy's money, maybe he had privileges I didn't have. You asked, what do you do for a living and how can I do that? And now I believe you are the current owner, or at least the former owner, of not just a red Ferrari, but Michael Jordan's red Ferrari. Tell me about that achievement.
Well, let me say this. As a young guy, you're going to go through that phase in your life where a car, a toy is important. I went through that phase. I got in trouble with cars recently. My granddaughter just turned 17, which means she now drives and wants a car. And I got in trouble with her parents because I said to her, fine, we'll just go down into the garage. Papa's got a few cars that he's not driving. You just pick one and you take it and fine. She would pick the purple turbo Porsche.
Yeah, she would. She would. Kid in a candy store.
Her parents went ballistic. But we had to, for the first time ever with her parents, I had to negotiate and compromise and say, okay, maybe you don't want a 17-year-old girl who happens to be 6 feet tall and gorgeous driving a purple turbo Porsche, right? That's gonna get a little too much attention.
A little bit.
So we got her a Toyota. I have a responsibility, a generational responsibility, and that generational responsibility is to see to it that the folks coming behind me, the generations coming up behind me, know that it can be done. What can be needs to be as much a part of the conversation as what cannot be. Hence, this whole idea of permission to dream. And I've got to tell you, I'm tremendously proud that 2 of my books, The Pursuit of Happyness and Permission to Dream, have both been published in Arabic by Kalimat in Sharjah, Sheikh Badur. Oh my God, to be published in Arabic, that's a big deal for me.
What an incredible guy. Now, from movies to music, award-winning artist Yo-Yo Honey Singh dropped by to tell us about his comeback tour kicking off right here in Dubai.
You know, we doing this Coca-Cola Arena show on 6th of February. I'm very excited for it because I'm gonna tell my whole story with Dubai on this show. It's gonna be more than 2 hours of entertainment with my 21 year of music catalogs, and it's gonna divide it in 4 chapters. And I'm gonna tell some of the stories which is not even there in my documentary. Some of the very, the insights of my musical journey related to Dubai. You know, most of the songs, Bollywood songs and other songs I made, I produced them and wrote them in Dubai. So I'm gonna tell all the secrets of me and my Dubai story. So that's why we're calling it My Story, Dubai Chapters.
Not only that, 3-time Grammy Award winner Wouter Kellerman also joined us in studio to talk about his journey and his incredible accolades.
No, actually, you know what happened with me when I left school? I started playing the flute when I was 10 years old. When I left school, I really wanted to study music, but we didn't have money for me to go to university. So I had to study something I could get a scholarship for. So I got a scholarship to study engineering, which I finished at the University of Johannesburg. And that, I had children young, and I became a single dad, and I had to focus on my kids, and the money in music wasn't enough, and I couldn't tour. So I had a 20-year detour in engineering. So I still played the flute every day, but I started my full-time music career at the age of 44. Wow. And so I'm too old to be a diva. So no amount of Grammys will change my personality.
So engineering from day one.
Sikka returned for its 14th edition, celebrating the best in Emirati heritage, traditional creativity, and the arts.
The Sikka Art and Design Festival is back for its 14th edition, celebrating culture, creativity, and Dubai's thriving art scene. And today we're going to be exploring the festival through its vibrant installations, engaging workshops, and conversations with the artists that brings it to life. Let's go meet some.
my idea came from the concept of the house as a whole. The house is soda, or more known as a headache. We use it as Jazzy use it as a concept of something that's overstimulating. So for me, the era of 2008 to 2013 was very fever dream-like. So the BlackBerry era is no longer existing, nor Keek. So I tried to recombine both of them. So it gives you a nostalgia kick from back in the day. I actually went back to it working on this installation, especially this is mimicked after my BlackBerry itself. It's a crazy how much we developed in the sense of technology.
What we're trying to do, and what we have been doing for the last 4 years, is representation of the urban culture in general. For this year specifically, we went with the concept of wasat, which is the middle, the center, the kind of core that joins everybody in the middle. And that means for us representation of people that work in those streets, that are doing all the crafts that have been passed on through generations. So what we see right now, we're in the dye garden, and basically we have an artist that is dyeing fabrics made out of like natural flowers and natural kind of found objects that you find around. And the same with, if you go across the house, you'll see different kind of crafts that are, I mean, for lack of better terms, they're kind of misrepresented, and we're trying to put them back into the spotlight. And that for us is the urban house, is getting everybody to come together, to collaborate together, and to have this kind of informal economy happening. All the art that we have here is more experience-based. It's nothing visual that you just get to see and look at. It's more participatory. So we want you to bring in your, I don't know, like your ruined skirt or your ruined shayla or whatever, and come here and maybe dye it in a different color, maybe do some block printing in it, maybe tailor it, give it a second life. So this whole circularity of any kind of piece that you have could be here. So the fact that Sika platform allows me to work with all these different artists and have access to a platform and a space that allows this kind of experimentation is always a good thing.
Here on the 2 floors we have so many installations and works. All of them are done by artists based here. So all of us, we work with ceramic as a main medium. So you can find here 48 different artists, and we also have a room of our students, who we of course very proud of. So we have 35 participants, kids participants for our exhibition. We also do workshops here for kids and adults, and I'm very happy to be part of Sika, of course. Here I have an installation presented. The name is The Traces. So this installation is about hands of older people who built this country. I was really inspired seeing them working across the country, of course. And when you look at the hands can actually tell you more than the faces. So when you see all the wrinkles, all the textures, sometimes it's scars or henna art on the hands, you can see and feel what is this person thinking about, what they passed through. It's a good event for us, for artists to cooperate, to meet each other once in a year, to collaborate, to meet new people. So it's, yeah, I'm sure the influence is even bigger than I can imagine.
Here you're going to have so many artists and artworks in one place. We welcome you to come and visit and enjoy the experience. This year we have so many different highlights and so many new houses that have been introduced in Sika 2026. One of them is the Public Art House that is here with the Visual Art House, and this year we're also focusing on an international house called the Japan House. And there are so many houses, so many artists that are participating, and we would love for you to come here and experience those artists and artworks in one place. So the current theme of Sika this year is Imagining Dubai and the Future. So every house that is in Sika this year, it's under the underarching theme, Imagining Dubai. So everyone took their take of it and redesigned it in a way that people, when they come and experience, they're going to experience different emotions. Well, there you have it, some amazing conversations with artists right here at Sika Art and Design Festival 2026, where Dubai's historical Shandagha neighborhood has been transformed into a hub of creativity and inspiration.
Starting the year with fresh energy can be a powerful moment for startups. But navigating the entrepreneurial journey can be tough. Dr. Corey Block joined us in studio to share his top advice.
Yeah, I think in the beginning for entrepreneurs, it really has to come from passion. I tell entrepreneurs all the time, it's starting a company is like having a child. I've got 5 kids, okay? Raising a child, for the first 2 years, it's just screaming and crying, most of which is yours, right? They're very expensive. You don't sleep very much, nobody thanks you for anything, and you're always trying to save it from killing itself. Like that really is the life. You know, right? The first couple of years, it's really that intense. So I say just be patient with yourself, but make sure that what it is that you're doing, you're very passionate about. You're passionate about the value that it's going to add to the world in exchange for a share of the resources you're hoping to win. If you're not passionate about the value that it's going to add to the world, then your clients won't be either, your investors won't be either. So you really need to embody that. You are the product for a while.
This year's Emirates Lit Fest had it all. Star guest speakers, new book launches, and plenty of must-see moments. Here's a look at the highlights.
The Emirates Airline Festival of Literature is finally back in Dubai, bringing together some of the world's most inspiring storytellers right here in the city, from poets and authors to broadcasters and cultural icons. Today is all about ideas, imagination, and the power of words.
I've always thought of the festival as a real force for good. You know, it demonstrates a belief in literature and language and the imagination, so I'm always keen to be part of that wherever it's taking place. It is a creative outlet for thinking and talking. It lets you be outside the norms of society, and I've always felt that one thing about this festival is the access and the empowerment that it gives to women. There are great women writers here, there are great women staff here, and I think that's a powerful message in its own right.
It's absolutely lovely to be here. I got invited, and a default position for me in life is to say yes to things. Rarely say no, and I'm pleased that I did. And it's lovely to be. It does feel like a nice environment to come and discuss. I think any opportunity to bring together people that wouldn't otherwise get together. I mean, I've been talking to children's authors. I don't talk to children's authors as part of my day job. So getting out and being around people where you realise that you might work in different worlds or come from different cultures, but actually some of the fundamental concerns and worries and goals and motivations that we share are actually really quite similar.
I think I'm one of the people who were here sort of interested or caring for the culture of the region. How to preserve the culture, how to present it, how to talk about it, because we are part of it. Now, we grew in this city and this country with a lot of storytelling, with a lot of ambition to learn more, to study more, and to teach also. So all this combined create a person for me. And a lot of people who comes to this region thinks we don't have culture to provide for the whole universe. We don't have writers, we don't have thinkers. But the reality is not that. We have a lot to give to the other people. We have a lot of things to provide for humanity. So that's my aim, actually, or part of my aim.
Well, I was really happy I came. I did a session this morning on how profit should not be the bottom line for business. It was very uplifting, great audience participation, considering we started at 9 in the morning. All literature festivals are important, but I think the Emirates Literature Festival is even more important because I got to hear a lot of Emirati voices and poetry. And I think that this is very important because somewhere along the line, you need to know this is the land of these people and hear their stories. And what Emirates Literature Festival does is allows us, the outsiders, to come in and embrace the insiders and also meet others who are here and you feel like one in everybody. And it's a strange thing because I have no connection to Dubai, but I felt very much at home here.
Well, it's the Lit Fest here, and for the first time ever, I have written a book. And I've been fortunate enough to be invited here to talk about it, and also just to experience the atmosphere of really creative authors, writers, kind of workshops. Feeling very, very lucky.
Well, the invitation to come, and again, it's another lovely opportunity to meet fellow authors and artists of a worldwide caliber, and it's great to see how much Dubai has changed since the last time I was here about 5 years ago. Always have a lovely time here. Well, I think it is very important because of the mix of authors, both from certainly the British and American literary scenes, but also the local scene. It's an opportunity for people from Europe to meet their peers from the Middle East, and I think that's hugely important.
And finally, if you can describe Emirates Lit Fest in one word, what would it be?
Boisterous.
Boisterous?
Yes.
Can I use three?
Yes.
Full of passion.
I think vibrant.
Vibrant.
One word to describe it? Oh my God, that is really putting me on this. One word? You don't expect an academic to just have one word. We have hundreds of words, thousands of words. I would say curiosity. That's what it feels like. People are curious.
You'd think a poet would be able to, provide a word, wouldn't you? But, I would say exuberant.
And that's just a glimpse of the conversations shaping Emirates Lit Fest 2026. From powerful poetry to unforgettable stories, today has set the tone, and there's plenty more to come.
That's all I've got for you today. Join me next week as we bring you a special coverage of the World Government Summit.